Hello and welcome back to the TI8 Regional Qualifiers. We're taking a look at the CIS playoffs. My name's Purge and I'm here with Lacoste. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. Nice.
Did you sleep much last night?
Probably around 4 hours.
Ooh.
I've changed my sleep schedule like 4 times in a week.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's been great, hasn't it?
yeah, well, it's been great. We've witnessed a lot of great Dota over the region. Some upsets, some new upcoming teams, especially in China. Team Serenity. That's the team that I'm gonna be cheering for, definitely.
What about between these two teams? I haven't gotten to see that much from Double Dimension, but Spirit seems pretty good. It seems I feel like there's a lot of teams that I could see myself rooting for in the CIS scene, and unfortunately, only one of them gets through. But of the remaining teams, which ones do you like the best?
Definitely Team Spirit. I think they're on a different level than Double Dimension. Double Dimension feels like a more of a stack than a real team. Team Spirit has been together for way longer. This is the team that has been pretty much done for just for the qualifiers. That's pretty much it. I think they were picked up a couple of weeks before. That's it. So not enough time maybe to gel together. Unlike Team Spirit, more experienced. They did some of the DPC events in this season.
Are you hearing any in-game audio at all?
No.
Yeah, me neither. I have no idea what's wrong. Oh well. Maybe I'll just write something in the group chat, maybe. I am not a good producer. And everything is fancy here, so.
So, Axe banned out by Double Dimension, no surprise there. DK Phobos mostly targeted a lot in the first banning phase. Chen and Wisp banned out. These are the heroes that Team Spirit loves to play, even though I didn't see too much of a Wisp. I feel like Lycan is one of the hottest picks right now.
Yeah. Does this feel weird to you? Because I feel like there was this period where Lycan was amazing, and then like the last major or so, he was kind of like inconsistent, and now all of a sudden he's amazing. Like what changed?
Nothing.
It's just like all of a sudden, maybe it's like the heroes people are picking never have stuns because they're always picking like Sky and stuff like that. So it's like
Yeah, could be.
it's all of a sudden they're like, well, we just got stopped picking the heroes that just generally beat Lycan okay.
So, as you mentioned, you're mostly picking these position 4 and 5s who have no escape and no control mostly. So this is where Lycan excels. If you can't control him, that's going to be a free Lycan game. Even though with the recent nerfs, Night Stalker is still a good hero.
Have you tried Underhollow with Night Stalker?
No.
It's awful. It's never nighttime, so you actually just have like the crappiest void ever, and you just have high armor. That's like the only. Don't do it. It's not fun. But in pro games, he works pretty well, I must say. High armor, pretty decent damage. During nighttime, he has a lot of lane pressure, which is certainly scary. He's like the one hero that can kind of like rotate lanes a little bit and is a huge threat in that way, I guess you could say. But he's also just good sitting in lane, getting farm, getting tanky items, that kind of thing. Yeah, do you prefer support or core for him usually?
A core, definitely.
Yeah.
In this meta right now, definitely a core. He was 4-3, 4-3, 4, and now we're back to 3. He needs items, and he's not very efficient as a roamer anymore, because Void doesn't stun, you don't provide any kind of a pressure until the first night falls. So basically your 4 minutes is just, what, damage from Void, that's pretty much it. Really hard to harass. Even then, there's a huge gap where he needs to fill after the first night. What is he gonna do? Like, it's gonna be a daytime from minute 8 to minute 12. He needs to buy a tome, and I'm not sure that's gonna get him to level 6.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that can be a big problem for sure. But dual lanes can make that work sometimes, depending. He's up against some really good laning heroes: Beastmaster, Jakiro, Naga Siren. And there's also a Warlock on Spirit now, so just solid laning on both sides, really, and very flexible picks. Outside of what Double Dimension has, that's most likely Naga Jakiro support. Offlane Beastmaster, and they still have to pick their mid and their carry. So, what are they going to go for first? Something that can lane okay against Night Stalker, maybe? I assume they'll pick their carry now.
Mostly they're saving the mid pick for the last. So Beastmaster probably gonna be paired up with Naga Siren. Could do a Beastmaster Jakiro, it's also a strong lane. A lot of kill potential. But I think Naga Siren and Beastmaster synergize well better because Naga has minus armor, so that's gonna buff the Axis damage.
And they go with the semi-safe Death Prophet pick, and that Death Prophet could be safe lane, could be mid. So it's a reveal, obviously. They had to pick a hero here, but it doesn't necessarily reveal the matchups, so kind of a cool way to do it. Death Prophet seems relatively good, I guess, against the enemy heroes, I'd argue. The Silence is a little bit annoying, but she can just kind of stand in the middle of the team fight, and Spirit Siphon deal a lot of damage with Exorcism and get backed up by her teammates as well.
There are only a couple of flex picks in this meta right now. Let's say Death Prophet, she can go to mid, safe lane. There's Lash, who can be played as mid or position 4/5. But not too many heroes can fill this role. Wind Ranger can be on 3, almost 4 roles. She's still not picked. As we talked about yesterday, we didn't see one single game of a Bloodseeker in CIS region.
This might be a good game for it, though, I'd argue. Lots of harass potential on Spirit's side. Does it lane well against DP? I feel like it does. Maybe I'm wrong there, though. I mean, it would prevent her from moving with Rupture, but the Silence is semi-counterable. Death Prophet probably does a pretty good amount of damage to Bloodseeker, but he also hits really hard physically, so I feel like he could also deal with her.
Yeah. Team Spirit and Double Dimension played against each other in the group stage, of course. Team Spirit won 1-0. They had kind of similar lineup. They had Leshrac and Warlock. Luna plus Visage. Luna is banned out. There's a lot of damage potential coming out from these two heroes together, just a Warlock and Lash.
Yeah, I would like the Fatal Bonds with Pulse Nova combo would be really good. And there are some, I mean, there's decent disables on Double Dimension side, but they're a little bit limited. They're kind of all in terms of like Roar and stuff like that.
This is a good Phantom Lancer game.
Yeah.
They have no AoE whatsoever. Jakiro has some, but it's really not effective against the Phantom Lancer. He can doppelganger out of all of his stuff. Yeah.
That's actually the worst when you're playing Jakiro, and then they can just like instant dispel everything you just casted. Like at best he gets Macropyre and a nice path, so it's gonna not be very fun for him. But yeah, the PL's really effective here. Not very high armor on Double Dimension heroes other than Naga Siren. And either way he can play around them, drain their mana. It seems definitely like a good PL game. It's got to worry a little bit about like Silence from Death Prophet, but
they have Naga Siren's net, which is a root, so he can't doppelgang out of root mechanics anymore. So that's good for them.
Unless he dodges it.
True. So they need some kind of AoE clear against Phantom Lancer, something with the lower cooldown, since they already have Beastmaster and Death Prophet. A good ban should be Ember from Team Spirit, since they lack control. Leshrac, Warlock, and Phantom Lancer don't provide anything. The only thing they have is Night Stalker, and he deals well with Phantom Lancer.
I think that's a good idea. I thought you were gonna say Sven, because I feel like every draft you're like, this is a Sven game, but not this time. Ember does make a lot of sense. So he could hit the backline, kill Warlock repeatedly. Even like Magic Damage builds, it seems like Embers have been doing a really good job dealing with AoE the last couple days. So yeah, I think I'm on the same page as you there. Does it make their lanes too weak if they would have gone Ember though? If they go Ember DP?
I think safe lane. Okay, so Gyro, this is a similar concept. I don't think, okay, so they pretty much go for the same lineup, 3 out of 5, what they played against them. Warlock, Visage, pretty fast lineup overall. They want to give this Phantom Lancer a good time early on. A lot of sustain with the Warlock. I'm not sure if they ran Phantom Lancer or Visage mid, probably.
I assume it'll be Lesh support with Visage mid. I mean, oh, you said that they might swap lanes based on what the matchups are?
Yeah.
You probably don't want to lane Visage versus Beastmaster, right? Because his armor's so low that you probably would get a super outlaned by a Beastmaster. Whereas Visage versus Death Prophet is like more manageable. You just kind of sit back and try to farm, I feel like.
I'm not a Visage player, but I feel like he can lose a lot of matchups. Maybe Phantom Lancer against the Death Prophet would be better, since he can get out of Spirit Siphon.
That's true. And he can also, well, you can't get out of it really, because if you doppelgang, it stays on you.
Yeah, but I mean, just get out of the range if possible.
I was thinking more like he can just gap close Death Prophet and harass him better using Phantom Rush. Might be a better advantage. But again, Visage is going to have trouble in his lane otherwise. Visage Leshrac could work, I guess. But it feels more like they'll do... I feel like they're going to do PL Warlock. Like, do PL Warlock versus a Beastmaster and Augur, Beastmaster
They're fine, yeah.
And then, yeah, exactly. And they're fine. And then Visage Death Prophet's probably okay. And Double Dimensions roaming is not that effective. Jikiro's not a great roamer. Naga Siren's an okay roamer. But I feel like Visage can get away with that. And then in the meantime, Nice Sucker, Leshrac can pressure most likely whatever Double Dimension runs safely. I feel like that's the way to go for Spirit myself.
Yep, but this is also a good Sven game.
It's true. You never know.
A lot of armor when he uses Warcry against Phantom Lancer illusions, against Visage Birds. And a lot of kiting potential with it. They can just run away.
Interesting. Alright, so they go for a PA instead. I think that pretty much solidifies that this is going to be a Battle Fury Phantom Assassin, I assume.
Yeah.
Just because it's good against PL. The crit scale, like, no matter what happens, unless PA is really far behind, she should be competitive. Or she could go Deso first and, like, get the Battle Fury later, maybe. Or get the Cleave perk at, is it 15 or 20? 15, I think.
15.
She could rely on that instead, maybe. Or, heck, maybe get both. Is that crazy? I feel like there's never any reason to do that, but against a PL, it might be worth it if you go Battle Fury and Cleave. That's pure damage,
I was
basically.
thinking about it. I didn't see anyone pick it up because minus armor is always good.
Yeah. But against
so
a
what's
PL...
the extra Cleave? Let me check.
I think it's 20%. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, plus 20% Cleave.
And Battle Fury's like 40, I think, right now. So it's a 50% more bonus from a Battle Fury is pretty good. And that's physical damage that isn't reduced by armor. So against like all the Visage Birds and the PL, I don't know. That just sounds like a possibly good thing. Kind of depends how much they want to hit buildings, but I guess they've also got Death Prophet to hit buildings. So I like the idea.
They have a lot of tower damage. DP, Beastmaster, Jakiro.
You know what's shameful though is PA's cosmetics. What is this shit? Does this guy not have any? What is this? It's like the base PA model, dude.
It really does. It feels like it's nothing.
Yeah, the only other person that's lacking is G on Visage here, which is and Leshrac actually. What is
Visage has no cosmetics, right?
He does have cosmetics. He has a set. He has the Immortals. Remember those the little bell bats?
Oh yeah.
There's a couple. I'm pretty sure he has a set. Yeah, see, he's got like one or two. He's got one set. It's a bundle. I don't know if that was like some individual chest thing. It's cool though. I like it. Yeah, and there's the bell familiars. But either way, this is gonna be game one. This is the lower bracket match of the CIS regional qualifiers. The loser of this best of 3 goes home. The winner is gonna move on, and they're gonna be pushing towards, ideally, the matchup against Espada, and then if they can win that, then they can go to the finals, and then they can qualify TI. So it's a long road for both of these teams if they want to go for a win.
Yeah, and they're facing better teams. Espada is looking really good. Windstrike, as probably expected, the best team in CIS qualifiers.
PL gonna spot out the aggressive movement here by Double Dimension. I forgot to mention I'm very obviously the best cameraman in the world, so get ready for that, guys. You're gonna experience something beautiful here.
Yeah, people seem to have problem with what they're not used to. Mostly, when you control the camera, you're just looking for the stuff for yourself, what's happening.
Yeah,
especially
exactly.
if you're usually a co-caster, so you want to see a lot of things, a lot of this different stuff.
It's very different to be controlling the ship, because I have to think about and plan. I'd be like, oh, I have to switch the scenes, and then I have to intro things. Instead, I could just, if you're over there, dude, you just sit back and drink your Coke or whatever, and yeah, easy life.
The battle begins.
So it's like we will see a 2-and-2 block, it appears.
Oh, they're gonna get 3 runes.
Oh,
never mind.
No, never mind.
Biver.
A little bit of damage, not too much. So fast Orb of Venom on the Leshrac, just so he can get some harass in. I didn't realize Lesh's base damage is so weak, so 43 on average, but it's like the punishment of any hero that was ever successful mid. There's just like base damage just plummets instantly.
I love how Lightning Storm was buffed so much, and then in the last 3 patches it got so nerfed.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of crazy when I read the change. It was like, oh wow, they had to nerf Lightning Storm caster from 800. I had no idea it was 800 range. That's insane. Oh, look at that. There's only one hero with 3 last hits, and it's the Visage. Just dominating, man. G with the Basilius Rush, kind of interesting. But for a hero that has no armor, makes a lot of sense, and it gives him 7 damage.
Yeah, he can also toggle the
Then
kind of that Prophet misses last hits. Let's see, that Prophet CS 20. I didn't see if he was toggling it off and on.
I assume he will be, but who knows? Pretty sure that's an NA strat though. I think NB invented that, or at least popularized it. Phantom Assassin, historically a very crappy laner. Like, Zero does not do much without a couple items, and considering that all of her skills are based on her. Oh, she does have a set, thank God. She probably bought one, like, heard me criticize her 5 minutes in the past or something, but...
Did you ever do that? Ask someone to give you, if you're playing with friends and you realize you don't have an item on a hero, and then he just gifts it to you?
No, because there's a lot of gift restrictions now and stuff like that. And usually I have a little bit of everything. But I find myself getting item sets for heroes, being like, oh yeah, I want this Arcana, and I play the hero like 4 times a year or something like that, you know? Like I got the Coddle, like, horse, like, Pegasus thing, and then I didn't play Coddle for like 4 months or something, like, but I still wanted it, you know. That's my problem. Is that
yeah, it feels bad. You spend so much money, then they
Yes.
just nerf the hero.
True. Or I just don't play them, just because, just gamble or whatever. Lesh sitting mid with an Invis here. He does not have a stun yet. He will have it now. A little scary for Pikachu here. It's gonna be close. G canceled one of his attacks actually.
Oh, he wishes he had 1 point in Soul Assumption. Since Lash was... Usually you don't see it from mid visages, so they just max Grave Chill and Graveskeeper Cloak. But you should get 1 point, especially if you see Lash approaching. And there's an Invis room. They're gonna go again.
It's gonna be a bit of a hard kill. He doesn't have a Fairy Fire this time, and Vanscore rotates over and will spot Biver, so very unlikely anything happens here.
Also, Phantom Assassin is playing against heroes on the bottom lane who have naturally high armor. You have Night Stalker. And okay, Lash doesn't have that much armor, sorry. Lash has 3 armor.
That's not bad. He's got 4 actually.
Oh, Beastmaster got nerfed, so that's good for PA. -3 armor.
It's okay. I think he'll be fine. Like, he's not individually going to deal a lot of damage to the target he's hitting, but when the cleave comes through, assuming he does get Battle Fury, then it's just not going to matter. And either way, he's still going to be able to blow up heroes like Warlock. He's still going to be able to jump on Leshrac and give Leshrac a really scary moment once he gets like a BKB or something like that. So I don't think it's a huge deal myself.
They're gonna go on mid again.
Tries to dodge it by walking forward. Doesn't work out here. And
There's
G
the 1 point
yeah.
value.
Realizing his loss from before. Oh, we caught the other kill. There it is. As long as you see the dagger, should have practiced more. DK Phobos. Another fight. Oh, almost caught a sick moment, but I didn't. Beastmaster TPing home in the Roche pit. Good for him.
Night Stalker is level 3, doesn't have boots. His CS is only 6 at this time because Lash spent a lot of time on the mid lane trying to get those ganks going.
It's a bad feeling, man. You just start feeling like your team is ditching you constantly, and oh, another sick play. Didn't see it. Did you catch that one?
No.
Okay.
I could have lied and said yes,
Thank you.
but I'm an honest guy. Visage with the double damage, another rotation from Lashrac.
Man, so well, at least this is the trade-off, right? If they're doing this well against the Death Prophet, that's definitely a good thing here. But it's got to be scary laning against a PA who's farming this well. He's got really good last hits. He's level 4, almost level 5 now. So some pressure coming top now. A lot of rotations, actually.
But we didn't even mention Phantom Lancer. He's doing as good as PA, not as many denies, but still doing all right.
It's true. Less kills.
F and G a bit too over-aggressive between Tier 1 and Tier 2 tower as level 2 Warlock. But G is doing amazing on the mid lane. He's gonna hit level 6, has Medallion plus Ring of Aquila. This Death Prophet's gonna have a really hard time coming back.
Yeah, and even staying alive. Like once he gets the bats up, he's got to be so careful about getting grave chilled, because if he does, he's going to get instantly reduced to 0 armor, and then they're just going to rip through him. Actually, oh, I thought he was going to get that catapult. Oh, they're actually smoked up. They're anticipating this here, trying to go for a turn, but she's actually just going to passively farm here a little bit. Using the bat stomps. Will they go in? Gets the initial net, but this is a hard catch. Yeah, this was not the value.
Oh my god, that damage.
Yes, that was a little tough.
We're gonna get King R probably as well. One more soul assumption.
It's out of mana, but
You don't want to fight Visage like that. He had 5 raindrop charges. They're gonna shrine up and come back to the lane. This is pretty ideal for Team Spirit right now.
well, they did gank that one familiar, so they got that going for them. But yeah, it wasn't very fast, especially their lead up. Like if they smoke and they wrap around and approach it, I feel like it's so much better. But the way they approached it, they're like, let's do a super long range level 1 ensnare, and we're gonna follow that up with a dual breath. Like that's all they had, and then Death Prophet just gets right clicked the whole time they're approaching. I feel like if they wrapped the supports around, they would have had a much better chance of getting that kill successfully.
Yeah, and Visage was in a bad state at that point. He used 2 birds just to regen up, so stun was on cooldown. So bottom lane, Night Stalker farming. He's not gonna be very active for the first night since it's gonna be gone in a minute.
Well, I mean, either way, it's still pretty close in net worth. Phantom Lancer's 1k ahead here. I'm sure his items are pretty much identical to PA's, and they are. PA just hasn't bought the treads yet, but net worth-wise, it's very flat. Big difference, I guess, is Death Prophet is far behind the other enemy mid, so that's about it.
I kind of prefer to have Phantom Assassin with power threads because it gives you more stats, and you can go, if you go for power threads, you can go for 15 damage on level 10 talent. You don't have to go for HP, but you can still go for it and just become tanky if you feel like it.
I just get the damage anyways, personally, usually. Just because, like, 150 HP does not make that big of a difference on the hero, whereas just more damage is a big game changer. King R going to dodge some of these moves here, but
I think phase boots and 15 damage is really weak. Like, you don't have any HP at all since you don't build into HP items.
What if you do, though? What if you go... Have you ever tried Vanguard PA?
Yeah. I think I saw someone during the qualifiers. I think...
Recently?
Yeah.
Oh.
He had Vanguard queued up. Not sure if he built it or not.
I saw it in a C team a long time ago, maybe like TNC.
I remember Syndering saying, like, please just don't go Vanguard, who's gonna deal the damage. They were already playing from behind.
Yeah, it's not. It's only kind of good because you can just constantly lane pressure, I guess, and it just pumps your HP and your damage block up, and that's even if they hit you through evasion. I don't know. There's kind of cool things about it, but obviously if you're trying to deal with somebody like a PA, something like Treads and Battle Fury is just so much safer. I just don't like the health perk myself. I feel like you can make that up later with items, so it's better to go damage in my opinion. But yeah, he's queuing it up. Battle Fury, Ring of Health is already picked up. It's going to go Treads. It's the way to go. More movement here from Double Dimension. They want to smoke gank the Visage, but it's popped. Both teams immediately recognize. I'm pretty sure they can just see the Naga Siren, actually, from the high ground. Not anymore, but they're waiting around. I mean, maybe they can get by her, but Naga's having some level problems too. Only level 3, almost level 4, but still. So we're talking about a 10-minute game.
Yeah, Jakiro's only level 4 as well. Supports on the other side, Warlock 4, Lashrak level 5. So they're gonna give Tome to Warlock probably, Lashrak not that level dependent hero.
He's level 5 anyways, he'll be okay.
Yeah.
This actually feels like a very passive game, doesn't it? Compared to the matches yesterday. Maybe it's because the rotations haven't been very successful and they don't have very good rotation heroes, but the laning stage felt kind of back and forth. I don't know.
When you play anything with Warlock, it's kind of a sustain lane, so that lane is not gonna get a lot of kills. But I expected more, especially from CIS region.
Well, the Helm the Dominator's up for G either way. He's got a Centaur picked up, so his ability to pressure and kill towers is much higher, and with Biber hanging around here, should give them the possibility to get setups. But this tower is not going to take long to kill if they don't react fast. Thank you.
Yeah, Visage power spike. He is gonna be strong for the next 10-15 minutes, extremely strong, and they have a good lineup for Roche with the birds and the medallion. So does double dimension, but maybe that's the play that they wanna go for. Phantom Assassin is not gonna be fighting. She's one of the heroes that wants to TP and just clean the kills. She doesn't want to leave her lane, just want to continue farming. Illidan getting a solo kill on Vanskor.
That's weird.
Yeah, who's level 5.5.
He didn't like use anything. He didn't use Doppelganger. He must have nuked like once. I don't know why the PL did. That's the only reason, or the Jakiro. That's the only reason I missed the kill. Just very bad death. That's obviously.
Illidan is so farmed. Level 9. He almost has a diffusal blade.
Wow, yeah, he actually does have a lot of gold. It's still only 300 gold ahead of where the PA is, so it's still kind of comparable, but there's definitely, it's going to be scary dealing with the diffusal blade this early in the game. Here comes the rotation. They're smoking, running to the top lane, break the smoke, and it's going to be a Nagastar. He's not 6 yet, though. They're going to have to golem this to catch up. Or the upheaval. All right, that'll work. That'll work. Really nice catch. That was good. Just a little upheaval. That was a level 2, and they get the Centaur stomp out of it. So.
Yeah. I've seen Warlocks going for different kind of builds. You need to have Fatal Bonds and Upheavals. Shadow Word, more than 2 points feels just like a waste, complete waste. Unless you're playing against some overtime damage like a Venomancer, then it's justified. Now Vanskor's gonna die on mid again.
Tries to go and get a push done in the meantime, and he does accomplish a little bit of that, but considering this is just the Night Stalker and a Lesh, I think that's going to be a little bit painful here. Now they're rocking bottom, or top lane, that is. Going for the rock, the double bat stun, not even needed, and they'll clean that up. They're just getting stuff happen. They're just making everything happen all over.
Now they have heroes who are extremely strong. Visage has Solar Crest, just needs to get to the secret shop. You have Phantom Lancer with the Diffusal Blade, so they can pressure the towers right now. Phantom Assassin is not strong at all at this point.
Gets Diffusal Bladed. Good escape there. Blinking to the Naga there, ready for that one. Definitely a little scary. Like that's the really, wow, they took the tier 2 so fast here. The scary thing about playing against Appeal in this case is that he finishes Diffusal and instantly his hero is so strong. But if you compare like a Battle Fairy hero, he's got a long ways to go till he gets Battle Fairy, and he has like the same net worth as his opponent. But once he does finish it, as long as the PL goes on somebody else, if the PA shows up to that fight, he can definitely deal a huge amount of damage. Does go for the damage perk as well.
Yeah, but I don't think they have a good frontliner on DD. Both supports extremely weak, no items, no save capability. Naga Siren just hit level 6, so that's the save. That Prophet shut down early on, kind of forced to go into armor items. Has Medallion ready.
Blink back though. PA's in trouble.
3-man stun.
Oh, he might die through it. His team is blocking him. Okay. It rushed in and run out of mana.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Runs out of mana. They're going for the dive. Biver is going to lose the trade though. The Death Prophet is running into the safety of the enemy base, but I don't know. Oh, it's going to be possibly enough here.
He has Hunter in the Night.
Just has to wait till Exorcism runs out, but he's going to spot her, but he's got a juke now.
Oh, barely.
Man. So he needed to use it to gap close faster, but man, it looked like it was the mistake usage of Hunter in the Night, but not a bad fight, I think, for a double dimension considering. The PA, ooh, man, that Leshrac ulti was painful looking with the sleep, but
if there was no sleep, if somehow Naga was level 5 still, the 3-man stun, Lash would just melt them.
Yeah, that was incredible. Even with the items he did have, still very effective. Beastmaster getting pressured here, but good TP away after Void comes out during the nighttime. And they are just all over the map right now.
Night Stalker with the Vanguard and Phase Boots, really tanky. Once he hits level 10, 200 extra HP. That hero feels pretty impossible to kill unless they pop the Exorcism or roar him. But you don't want to roar Night Stalker in the front line. That's the thing. That's the why he goes for that build. I remember the talk I had with the art style. He's even the power nut. That's kind of classic. I asked him before why did he go for like a Vanguard and Aghanim Scepter at the time. Like why don't he goes for a BKB? Because he says because you can't target Night Stalker when he has a BKB. So you want to go in, tank the damage, pray that you're gonna survive, and then deal some damage.
Yeah, makes sense, right? Like it's not like your abilities are that amazing anyway. So you just want to dive, run at them, make them scared that you're gonna use your abilities well, and then throw those out. Vanscore doing his best to tank here on the top lane. Oh no, he spent all of his mana on a silence there, and as a result, he can't cancel the TP. What a mistake. And he used Hunter of the Night. That was actually maybe the more expensive part. But I mean, he needed vision, I suppose, but needed to not use his silence and loses a kill. But as a result, it doesn't matter. They're just pushing in the mid lane. And G's approaching an Aghanim Scepter. He's got about 2,200 gold to go on that one. And with the Alpha Wolf, man, he pushes very fast. Illidan picking up a Hood as well to deal some of the nukes of his opponents. And Kuman does have his Battle Fury finished at least.
I love the build on Beastmaster. Straight into Crimson Guard against the Phantom Lancer and Visage. That's the item that could change things a little bit.
Would you go deeper and go something like a Vlad's too? Or
well, I would get Solar Crest probably.
Okay.
So just tank it up even more, but maybe you don't have an initiation tool then. Since none of the heroes provide anything on your side, you don't want to use Song to set up things.
He's got feet. Not always as easy, of course. A little bit of a smoke here as Viper rotates over. But they'll show on the creep wave here. And a lot of double dimension kind of sitting around waiting for these opportunities to engage against Team Spirit. But seems just like Team Spirit just owns the map a lot more.
Yeah, they're playing so well against the Dead Prophet. They shut her down. This is the hero that snowballs and wants to play fast. So she couldn't do the Dead Prophet things. I think we only saw one Exorcism popped.
Yeah, it was just that one on the mid lane where they got a decent fight. And the warding is really powerful as well by Team Spirit. Just a lot of control over all the places that DD want to sit. Kuman is going to push out the top lane a bit though, which is going to give them some opportunity to use an Exorcism finally. Except DP is not there. She's sitting in the base. But everybody else heading top. Gonna spot out FNG with his haste, but he's gonna get away pretty quick. And tier 2 on the bot lane, so I don't think Spirit's gonna stop here. Time to go high ground. They do kill the Alpha Wolf at least.
Yeah, Jakiro is not in the base. They need to pop the glyph. Look at that macro fire, bro.
That's pretty sick. Oh my god. Looking to dive here. Odin looking at his opponents. Could maybe go on the PL here. Oh, they do? Okay, there's a roar. Shane's stunned. He's getting low. It's going to be close. Gets the doppelganger off. Do they follow up? He's going to get away. The bat stuns on 5 heroes and the golem and the fatal bonds.
Song. There's still damage coming from the Lash.
And the DP a little bit, but she looks like she's just dead. She throws the silence down, but it's not in time. Visage stays alive. No Aegis burned. No dead PL. They hesitated a little bit. They put almost everything in on the PL, but they just didn't have enough damage.
Man, FNG's got a positioning. He was not affected by the Naga Siren ulti. He was casting upheal from the downside. That's why they couldn't run away.
Trying to finish off G here, but he's just slapping away at the building. He does not care about falling. They get the tower. The racks are exposed, and with all those big cooldowns down, can they stick around and finish this off? They had more Shadow Word, maybe. Crimson Guard being used again, but there's the upheaval. This is a level 4. He cancels it, though, realizing he's at the front of the engagement. Bit of a loss there, but I could see them backing off at this point, but it's such a...
Nighttime. They're
nighttime,
not gonna back off.
and no Exorcism, and no Song of the Siren. Like, surely, they just got to force it.
They forced, what, 1, 2, 3 buybacks already. This is not looking good for DD.
The range barracks does get picked off here. 2 familiars hitting the ground.
Problem is that Illidan has no mana whatsoever. And Lash is running low as well.
If only they had gone for an Arcane Boots. Picks up the drum on the Lesh instead. It's definitely helping out here. They're really forcing this one, going for the melee barracks here, doing some damage. Roar comes out on Visage. His armor stacks are mostly gone at this point, but in the meantime, the Crimson Guard is just making them all so tanky here. He ends up getting stunned just in time, and they pick off the kill on G, so a good defense here from Double Dimension so far. Kuman is also trying to engage, but he's slowed there. Going in on the Death Prophet. Instantly, she gets shredded when the Crimson falls. Another Ice Path buys him a second, but the PA is being focused. Do they have enough mana to kill her? They do. Buyback as well from PA. She's coming back into the fight. They need to get a kill on Illidan if they can. He's low on mana. Slow him down at the start, but that's going to be it most likely. So they do defend their melee barracks, but they lose the ranged. And ultimately, Spirit is looking at a disgusting 13k gold advantage at the 20-minute mark.
That's 4 buybacks, plus they lost range racks and tier 3 tower, and Team Spirit is going to pick up 4 bounty runes. They're not stopping. Rock is going to be up pretty soon. There's the mana boots that you talked about. Warlock picked it up, even has a casual buckler just for the extra damage mitigation from those DPLT and Phantom Assassin right clicks and daggers. So they're just going to group up as 5 and go again. Crimson Guard picked up by a Night Stalker.
Well, maybe they can catch him. He's going to have Crimson. Doesn't get to use it in time, but he does buy out these the Solar Crest while he's stunned. Kind of interesting. Thinking about turning things around, but this is one of the big issues with the Battle Fury on Phantom Assassin. He does go for the cleave perk, interestingly, so he's looking to cleave a lot of. I mean, that's a lot of damage. But the problem is that by the time you get Battle Fury, you're already a little bit behind because you haven't been able to pressure. And then afterwards, you need to instantly rush BKB, and this time period between that, if you don't get the BKB fast enough, just feels like PA is not a very good hero. Like, I almost wonder if you just buy Deso first or something like that, then you can actually participate in the game early and not have to just be like, well, I'm AFK farming until I finish Battle Fury, and then I'm AFK farming until I finish my next time. I feel like going like Deso into Battle Fury might be better, but I'm not sure.
I don't think at this point that they have problem dealing with Phantom Lancer illusions because his power spike is not that great. He was strong when he had the Fusel Blade, but he goes down. In one roar, they could easily kill him. So maybe the Deso build would have been better just for the extra damage. And then he can still switch to Battle Fury at one point.
Well, 3 familiars are in there. They're going to lower their attack speed, but they're taking almost no damage. And that's like the easiest way for them to siege here. They put the song down. They are going to be looking for an initiation. It looks like they're going to have to go with the PL. Here comes the Rock to interrupt things. He doesn't put Fatal Bonds, but he's got a great upheaval on 4 heroes. Viver runs it as well. The Roar comes out. They're trying to focus him down, and they do actually get PL. DK Phobos running for his life. It's actually going okay for the Radiant team. Double Dimension looking to chase, get more kills here if they can. Kuman has to escape. G's going for the kill on the back line here, and it's getting close. Death Prophet likely to fall, but buying some time with the Yules. A great Ice Path is going to buy him another 2 seconds here. And more creeps die, but not enough of the heroes that matter. In the meantime, PL bought back, pushes out the mid lane, and is headed back bottom to finish the racks.
Great upheaval again on 4 heroes. A lot of slow, a lot of control with familiars. Visage was uncontested in that fight. You don't want to focus Visage, but if you don't focus him, he's going to deal a ton of the damage. He used Soul Assumption like 6-7 times in that fight.
He's just impossible to kill. Like, they absolutely can't deal with him. Crimson Guard will buy them a handful of seconds at least, but they're not having the same mana problems as before. Upheaval gets dropped to the ground, and that's going to be anybody that approaches this lane really shut down here. Oh, the Macro Pyre just not quite long enough here. Would force FNG to have to give up his hand waving, but not this time. Another tower falls 24 minutes in, looking like 2 racks is about to be down.
No Roar, he doesn't have mana. DPLT on cooldown for another 60 seconds. No Macro Pyre, bro.
The melee barracks will take a lot longer to go down, but slowly and surely.
They don't have the best tower damage.
They're breaking. All right, Visage gets attacked there. That was a great initiation. They kill Bats almost instantly. They resummon. This is really bad for the PA. Solar Crest used.
All 3 birds are down.
Oh man, they died so fast. Dual Breath again. Here comes the Roar. Maybe they'll kill the Leshrac support. They go in to commit, but the Yules are going to buy him a second here. He will end up falling down. Careful on PA. Very, very low here, but he's got a salve ready. Switching over so that he can end up salving and re-engaging. Can they catch anybody else in this fight? He wants to, but it's so hard.
I think they should just back off, heal up. They have no mana, no rock, and no birds for almost 2 minutes.
Well, that seemed like a decent defense, more or less. They didn't get a lot of kills. They only pick off the support Leshrac, so not ideal, but gives them something to work with here.
Yeah, Cleave is so good against these Visage Birds. So the extra talent that he picked up, extra 20%, is really doing great. He just needs maybe one more lucky RNG.
It's the damage still gets reduced, right? Like the Visage passive, it's a damage reduction now. It's not based on armor and magic resistance, I believe. So it all comes down to whether or not Visage takes damage. Because as soon as what happened in the last fight is Visage got an ice path and like a liquid fire dual breath. When that happens and his armor goes away, instantly the birds die.
Yeah.
But if he sits within range, oh, they're gonna rock here under the Roche. Oh my God, he died instantly. King R drops another to follow. That's going to be Beastmaster going down. Death Prophet's trying to fight for her life here. No Spirit Siphons for 2 seconds. The stun lands, and they pick off the kill. No familiars needed. Looking to catch more, but Vanscore should be able to TP home. And now Spirit is going to be the ones that take the Roche most likely. GG's called. Wow. They knew. If they don't even get Roche there, it's just not worth playing this out because the siege is going to continue.
Yeah, maybe a little bit premature GG, considering it's for a slot at TI only.
Well, there's a long road to go for Double Dimension, and Team Spirit is going to be very pleased with the way that they played first game. The laning stage I thought went moderately good, and their mid game went excellent. Just great rotations, and eventually, like, G farmed super fast this game. His GPM was at a 550, which is really good considering the game ended at 25 minutes. Like, that's super high. So very well played by him and others. Very few mistakes. FNG was definitely a huge impact this game. Like the upheaval build just felt so useful, especially against heroes like PA, who are very often like heroes that want to weave in and out of the fight. And like you said, the fact that upheaval is such long range against an early Naga Siren, that's amazing because his song range is just not that good. Like you could just sit all the way back, channel the upheaval, and let your little ghost hands touch people. Well, he didn't have the Immortal, but
his positioning is just so good, especially when he plays heroes like a Warlock and Shadow Demon. Also, I gotta give credit to Biver, who played extremely well. Those two rotations gave G so much time and so much gold to work with at the mid lane. Phantom Lancer dominated his lane, but Phantom Lancer didn't really do too much this game. He was pretty much the frontliner. Same goes for DK Phobos. Didn't have the greatest laning stage, but he caught up really well.
Yeah. Well, pretty good game. We are going to jump to a break, and then we'll be back for game number 2 between Team Spirit and Double Dimension. Don't go anywhere, guys.